we rise for gospel acclamation.
To life. Very truly I tell you, the hour is coming and is now here when the dead will hear the voice of the Son of God, and those who hear will live. For just as the Father has life in himself, so he has granted the Son also to have life in himself. And he has given him authority to execute judgment, because he is the Son of Man. The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
I had no idea that there will be a video being taken, because what I'm going to say is a secret and nobody should tell anyone else. When I was studying grade 9 in Little Flower High School, there was a time I started bunking classes, and I used to go around to watch movies, to, I don't know where, Babukanai State was my favorite place to stay around. And it happened that it was like almost 15 days I did not go to school. And then I was a little worried now how to go back, because the teacher will ask me, why were you absent? And what will I tell her? So I devised a way. I went to one of the doctors in Chintal Basti and told her, my mom told me to tell you that we went to Velangani and I did not go to school, and now I need a medical certificate. And this doctor saw my face, very innocent. She gave me the letter. She wrote the medical leave, and I gave it to the teacher. Everything solved. Nobody knew at home. I thought so. And then went on. And it happened during my report giving. And this was one of the times when my father came to get the report card. So I was thinking everything is done. I passed all my subjects, so everything should be okay. But sitting there, my class teacher, that was Leela teacher, she told my father, your son is sick many days. And my father looked at me and said, were you sick? I put my head and said, yes, I was sick. And it happened, but my father did not say, and in the course of time she asked what happened, is he healthy now? And my father, I don't know what happened, he also agreed with everything, and we went. Now it was said, oh my God, everything was, the letter was shown, everything was done. And my father went to work. It happened that evening, so I was all worried, now how the information will pass on and what is going to happen. So dinner time, we were supposed to bring the water and stuff. So I ran, made sure I did not leave my father and mother alone, because, they could tell. So I was making sure everything. During the meals, they told me, my mother, as usual, said, hey, go bring water. I saw left and right. I ran, filled the water, came back. Nothing happened. After the meals, my mother somehow on the side, she asked me, hey, you were absent for many days. Then I said, my God, how did they communicate? The whole time I guarded them well. I think the time I brought water, I lost. Looking back at these small moments, I realized, life is not about big things. And that time, somehow my mother brought me in the next day, and she advised me, I was already 9th class, so she told me, this is your life, and she gave me a good talk. So I kind of picked up and said, sorry Mom, because I was expecting her to beat me up, because previously for any other mistake, I used to get a lot. So I was very fond of my mother beating me up. Why? Because I was doing something else also. So that was a life that I have experienced with my mother and father. And I know that I stayed until 10th class only with them in a big way. After that I left. But today I would like to share a little what I know of my mother in a special way as we keep her memory for today. And it happens like, first of all, I saw her a person who gives that somehow the space of freedom and also consequence of pain. It was both given together. And I would like to put few things. There were times, when we do something, she would, the stick was a very good friend, so we used to get few times, and it was okay, I remember. And I still remember one time I was lying on the floor crying, and I still remember that. But I always found her giving us the space. She would not like police us to always check, but we could feel. At that time I did not realize. But now looking back, I see that she was not a person who will hold the neck and always follow up fully, completely. But we had that particular freedom. It was wonderful to see that we could also joke with her. I remember this one and many other things. I used to, this is month of May, and I was fond of good food. So I used to go for marriages, dress well. I don't know whose marriage was that, but I used to go and used to eat. When I come back home, I used to bring pan and everything and to give everybody also. She would really get angry. But after some time, like the next day, she will laugh at it and we crack jokes about it. So it was kind of a freedom where she would tell us that she's not happy, but we could even share jokes and laugh about some things such as those. Going for marriages without being invited, bunking classes. And she would always laugh at that joke, even until whenever we come back, she will always remind and tell the same joke. Sometimes it happens that we repeat the same stories with same enthusiasm and same fun. So first thing I noticed that she would give us that freedom and also point out things which were not correct. Another thing which is very obvious as I see was her sense of prayer. She was, as I understood, she grew up in the boarding house for a good number of years, and that affected us. Because as I remember from my grade, I was 3rd class onwards, until today, I'm having everyday mass. She would bring us every day to the church with mother, father, our 3 of us before, and then later Arpana escaped, but we used to go every day for mass. And later looking back, I was wondering, wow, it was an amazing thing that everybody, the mother and father, they would bring everybody. We had a particular bench, we used to sit, and we used to attend mass every day. The sense of prayer was somehow even until her last breath. Many times I also heard from people where she stayed. They would always say she wakes up early morning and she's always praying, doing something and praying. Many instances where we would always see that she would be excited about retreats, going and attending retreats, telling everybody, go for the retreat, go for the retreat. A sense of God that she always catered very much. One thing I always tell now is whenever we come back home for holidays, she would always say, for you and my sister, especially being religious, I am praying for you more. Every day I offer a rosary for you. And that one, I feel that I would miss that somebody telling me that prayer being said for us. Every time that sense of prayer was there with her. Another thing that was kind of, I don't know, good or bad, but she was crazy in giving. We would have always, if there was some food, anybody comes to the house, she would always say, take some, eat and bring something to the family. Always, there was sometimes like, you like some kind of sweets and it's there. So you are planning to eat it today, tomorrow and day after. But if somebody would come, she would be, take, mom, please don't tell like that. No, it's okay. And she would always give, somehow crazily give, like from what we don't have, she would even give from there. And that's the thing I noticed, and I feel that somehow she in that madness, in that craziness of giving, sometimes it's not joy, as kids we lost a lot of sweets because of her in her giving. But looking back, I say that is something that God sees something beautiful. And looking back as a priest, I see something wonderful that I learned, I saw. I lost a sweet, but I saw something beautiful more than that. These three things, these three qualities I would like to, I see something that makes sense to me today when I look back. Us, four of us, decided that we will spend before the Mass. So we sat down and I was asking myself, what is that I am looking at my mother? I am sad that she's not there, but what is that she taught me? Are these three. I know I am also not very good at, as she was in a prayer, in the way she gives. Of course, being in the world we are calculating. But looking back, I admire her for these things. What would I miss with this? What would I miss? This is what I asked myself. And I told myself, or rather I came to realize I would miss her hugs. Whenever I come back home or whenever I leave or anytime, she would really hug very tight for a long time. I used to say, Mom, you cannot press me too much, but enough. But I would miss that. I would miss the same old stories. I had not much memories in the sense of we did not spend much time, but same old stories of what happened from before. She would tell it and we laugh about it, we joke. She would always remind me that I was bringing pan in my pockets to give to my brothers and make sure that, after eating outside, I will tell them what I ate, what was the special there. And she would laugh. This we have most probably told more than 100 times. But we would say the same old stories. I would miss that. I would miss this is a strange thing that when we was kid, I would ask my mother to look for lice, pain. And she will go around for a good amount of time and say, no, nothing is there. Then I will scratch, Mom, there is something, you check. I used to enjoy her touching my head and looking for lies for nothing. I did not have a lie at that time, but I would always ask. Even as a priest, I would do that. Ask her to put oil on my head. I would miss that. I would miss surprising her. I never came home telling her the exact dates. I would always wait to confuse her and make her surprised, and I will make sure she will investigate from somebody else, when is he coming, and she would never catch me. I would be proud of it that I come with a surprise. I would miss surprising her. I would miss sometimes lying on her lap, just lying down, and then she would just pat and then say something. I would miss that. I would miss her presence. I'm not supposed to cry. If I cry, I'm stopping my homily. What I received from her, in reality, my vocation to be a priest, my vocation to be a missionary, my vocation to be what I am, is from her. The way she was, I used to admire. I picked up from her. Many people have told, and I'm proud of it, and I'm happy that God gave me the gift of speech. Many people told me, Father, you speak well, you talk, but they don't know that this is somehow I picked from my mother. She was a grade 2 teacher from 18 years old until 60, I don't know what years old. She was a grade 2 teacher. But the way she used to talk, tell stories, I was so amazed with that. And I would listen. She might be telling in the tuition the stories, but I would sit there, listen that same story again and again, just because I used to love the way she says. And if I am able to say something, I feel that's really a gift that I received from my mother. Another thing I received is protection from all dangers. You do not know that I've never shared with anyone, but Papua New Guinea has plenty of, the word we use, rascals here, but it's real rascals we have. people with knives, people with guns, stopping, blocking the road, no, holding up, catching people, stealing, breaking in. We have quite many, and it's a normal experience to have people with holding you with knife for money or whatever it is. But till date now, not even once I was touched. Never ever experienced any rascal. I tell you, I have been in a place where there are earthquakes happening quite often. My previous 4 years, I'm in the same place where the earthquakes happen. Every time a big one happened, I was out of that place. I was in the Philippines recently. There was 7.7 earthquake. The soccer field really broke down. It was a landslide. On the other side, computers fell, and it's really everybody was afraid. I was not there. Somehow I feel that protection was from my mother's prayers, and I did enjoy that. These are things I received, my own vocation, my skill of even speaking, and also a lot of protection. My life, these are what I said is a small things, but many more things, my own personal way of going through my vocation. Many times I was saved. I don't know why. Something happened. I was always far from any danger. What I would present to us here. First thing is, when we have parents, when we have people around, or not only parents, anybody around us, sometimes it is possible that we take it for granted. Take it for granted. I did the same. When I come for holidays, we don't have internet at home, in the place where I am. So when I come here, normally internet is so fast, people may not even realize what difference it makes. I used to watch a lot of videos of Kapil Sharma and to enjoy myself. And that's my regret, saying that I spent a lot of time watching videos when I was at home. I took it for granted that my mother was there. I could lie on her lap, but I don't care. I did not care what she was, talking or just there. I was there, but not giving it completely. I regret. So I would like to share these three things. First thing is, simplest things. I tell you, her putting oil on my head, her looking for lies, which are simplest things, I cherished. And I think if you ask yourself, we have the small things that happen in our life. Do we cherish them? Do we give them that importance that it needs? Smallest thing, maybe giving just water, just saying a word, making a small things that make sense, that we are together. First thing, smallest things do we cherish or take it for granted. The second thing, maybe this one, I don't know.